The Global Pyramid Code, connecting ancient structures to hidden knowledge. They rise from deserts, jungles, and plateaus, built by cultures separated by oceans, time, and belief. Different languages, different gods, different myths, and yet they align to the same stars. They encode the same mathematics. They repeat the same geometry. This should not be possible. According to everything we are taught, these civilizations never met. They shared no maps, no ships, no global language. So why do their monuments speak the same silent code? What if the pyramids were never meant to be tombs? What if they were not symbols of power, but containers of knowledge? What if, long before written history, humanity faced a global catastrophe and chose stone over paper, stars over words, geometry over memory? This is not a story about aliens. It is not fantasy. This is an investigation into a possibility far more unsettling, that our ancestors knew the world would reset and left us a knowledge atlas, embedded in stone, waiting to be remembered. This is the Global Pyramid Code. Across the world, pyramids appear in places with no historical contact. Egypt, Mexico, Peru, Cambodia, China. Mainstream archaeology calls this independent invention, a coincidence born from stacking stones. What coincidence collapses under precision? The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to true north, with an error of less than 0.05 degrees, a precision unmatched until modern surveying tools. Teotihuacan, thousands of kilometers away, mirrors celestial orientations tied to the Pleiades and the Milky Way. Angkor Wat encodes astronomical cycles spanning thousands of years, including precession, a phenomenon officially discovered much later. These are not crude monuments. They are calculations in stone, and the similarities don't stop at shape. The same ratios repeat. The same angles recur. The same obsession with cardinal directions appears again and again. If these cultures were isolated, why did they solve the same problem in the same way? Or were they never as isolated as we think? The pyramids are not just structures. They are interfaces, connecting Earth to sky. The Giza pyramids align with Orion's belt, not symbolically, mathematically. At a specific epoch in the past, around 10,500 BCE, the alignment is nearly perfect. That date matters. It corresponds to the end of the last ice age, a period of massive flooding, climate chaos, and sudden extinction. In Mesoamerica, pyramids are aligned to Venus cycles, used not only for ritual, but for agriculture and survival. In Cambodia, Angkor Wat mirrors the movement of the sun across equinoxes and solstices with staggering accuracy. These builders were not guessing. They were tracking long-term celestial mechanics. To do this, you need generations of observation. You need stable knowledge transmission. You need a civilization thinking in thousands of years, not lifetimes. The question is not how they knew the stars. The question is, what event forced them to watch the sky so carefully? Across continents, the same numbers whisper from stone. Pi, phi, the square root of 2 and 5, the 3-4-5 triangle. These are not decorative choices. They are structural truths of reality. The Great Pyramid encodes pi in its perimeter to height ratio. This was not an accident. In South America, polygonal stone walls use angles that distribute seismic energy, technology we only recently rediscovered. Sacred geometry appears everywhere, in temple layouts, in city planning, in the proportions of monuments. Geometry is the only language that survives translation. It cannot be corrupted by myth or politics. If you wanted to preserve knowledge, through collapse. Geometry would be the safest vessel. Stone remembers what civilizations forget. Plot the world's great pyramids on a globe. Something strange emerges. They align along specific latitudes and longitudes, some eerily close to mathematically significant positions. Ley lines, once dismissed as pseudoscience, begin to resemble an ancient global grid. What if these sites were not chosen randomly? What if they marked nodes in a planetary system, a network, a way to encode geography, astronomy, and survival data, not in books, but across the Earth itself? Some ancient maps, like the Piri-Reis map, depict coastlines as they would appear without ice. Knowledge that should not exist, unless it came from a time before the ice returned. Civilizations rise, civilizations fall, but pyramids remain. They are overbuilt, excessively durable, designed to last tens of thousands of years. Why? If they were tombs, they failed. If they were temples, they are strangely uniform. But if they were archives, their design suddenly makes sense. They do not tell stories. They preserve systems. Astronomy, mathematics, earth science, time. Not instructions, but reminders. A warning carved into the planet. This has happened before, and it will happen again. The real mystery is not who built the pyramids. It is why we stopped listening. The Global Pyramid Code does not claim certainty. It asks a dangerous question. What if human history is not a straight line, but a cycle? What if knowledge does not disappear? It hides. And what if these monuments were never meant to be understood immediately, but rediscovered when humanity was ready to remember itself? The stones are silent, but they are not empty.